Digital distribution. Which platform should you go with? Which ones are worth it? My best distributor of 2020 is straight ahead. A lot of decisions, but so many of them are just complete bullshit. Hey guys, I'm Steve Freeman, hit songwriter, multi-platinum selling record producer, and host of the Steve Freeman podcast. Today we are going to talk about digital distributors. Now, many of you have checked out my series on Ditto. We'll talk a little bit about that today. If you haven't seen that though, you might want to check out this video series right up here where I went in detail with the horrible experience that I had with Ditto. And I want to say right up front, I would never ever recommend Ditto. So if you're out there and you're thinking about using Ditto, please don't. I've literally gotten thousands of messages and comments from you guys saying, thanks, Steve, for helping me avoid using Ditto. I was just about to sign up. There are a lot of other better options out there for you to use when it comes to digital distribution. Now, after 25 years in this business and being very successful in it, I can tell you that the most important thing you as a songwriter, producer, or artist can do is make sure that your music is two things. It is easy to find and available everywhere. Pretty simple when you think about it, when we put so much work and thought and creativity into the songs that we write, the songs that we produce, and that we put out, that it really comes down to the basics of making sure that your music is easy to find and available everywhere. There's so many options when it comes to digital distribution today, so many different platforms from Ditto to TuneCore to DistroKid to 1RPM to Sony Red to the new distribution service from Cobalt. There are so many options out there. But I want to make this video for those of you, the independent artist that is sitting at home going, okay, I've got this single, or I've got this EP, or I've got this album, and I want to put it out there. I'm ready to get things going, and I need to get it out there ASAP. What is the best digital distribution service for me to use? Because of the experience that I had, whenever somebody said, hey, Steve, will you try out and test Ditto for us? That situation turned out horribly. It never actually truly ever really resolved myself. If you go back and watch the video series, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But ever since then, we have gone through our major distribution platform to release all of our artists' projects that we do the marketing for, that I produce and handle from an artist development standpoint. And we've not had any problems whatsoever. Because it is very important that you have a marketing plan and a marketing strategy behind the single EP or album that you're going to put out there. That does include paid advertising. That does include all of the things that we now know have to be socially acceptable in order for you to draw the eyeballs and the ears that you want to get your music out there, get yourself exposed as an artist, and build an engaged fan base. So many of these services offer a lot of different services. I want to talk about a few in particular. I have used TuneCore on behalf of clients with no issues, no problems whatsoever. That's not to say that there aren't those out there that have experienced those problems, but working on behalf of some of our clients and some of the people that I produce, I've not had any problems with TuneCore. DistroKid, I like some of the things about DistroKid, and a couple years ago, they were even my choice for Distributor of the Year. Since then, there has been some management changes at DistroKid. A lot of things have gone on. I'm not saying stay away from DistroKid, but what I am saying is that I think there is a better option, and we'll get to that in just a second. One of the things I want to talk to you about, though, is the other services that a lot of these digital distributors offer. Some of them offer paid promotion programs, marketing assistance, publishing, and royalty collection. As I said a minute ago, your primary responsibility and most important responsibility as a songwriter, artist, or producer is to make sure your music is available everywhere and easy to find. Do not, listen to me very carefully, do not use any of these other services for the royalty collection or the paid promotions or the Spotify playlist promotion, paid opportunities that they offer. Do not use them for publishing services. I'm going to tell you, when it comes down to the publishing and royalty collection, you can eliminate the middleman, which in this case would be the distributor. Eliminate them and go straight to affiliate with BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC. Now, CSAC is a private organization, and you have to be invited to join. I am a CSAC writer. I wrote for BMI for 15 years, but anybody can join BMI and ASCAP as a composer or songwriter, or as also a publisher. None of you need to join as a publishing company. I can tell you that right now. Don't worry about that. Because inside each one of those systems, whether it's BMI or ASCAP, if you do not have a publishing company, they will automatically assign your publishing side royalties to your writer side. So there's no need for any of you guys to have a quote unquote publisher account with ASCAP or BMI. But do not use the services of the digital distributors to collect your royalties or handle your publishing. You can do that and affiliate directly with the performing rights organizations. Let's talk a little bit about the Spotify playlist promotion and some of the other marketing efforts that some of these digital distributors are selling you. They're just simply not worth it. I have spent thousands of dollars testing each one of these different services out with basically the same results. I got higher results for some of our clients by just running Instagram story ads than I ever did by paying for the digital distributor to get me on playlists that didn't matter, or get our artists that we represent on playlists that don't really matter. I have a video through the Artist Development Academy that you can check out if you really want to figure out how to get on those most in-demand playlists. You can find out all that information at artistdevelopmentacademy.com and check out, there's a whole online course that teaches explicitly how to get on those playlists. Bottom line is, do not pay for any services other than distributing your music. Use your money when it comes to digital distribution to do and accomplish the one most important thing that comes in two factors, and you can say them with me again. Make sure that your music is easy to find and available everywhere. That is something that all the digital distribution companies, no matter which one you choose to go with, that's something they all offer. It's important to make sure that your music is available, easy to find across all digital streaming and sales platforms. Now, the digital distribution company that I want to pick as my 2020's best independent digital music distributor is 1RPM. Now, I will tell you, 1RPM, just like all of the others, they offer a multitude of services. They offer digital music distribution, video distribution. They do offer publishing services, royalty collection services, and outside paid marketing and promotion service for things like Spotify. Again, even though they are my recommendation for the top digital distribution company of 2020, I still would recommend and advise you that your money will go further if you have the budget, which I hope you do. If you have the budget to properly market your music, market your single, your EP, or your album, you are much better served and will get much better results if you focus on using things like Facebook advertising, Instagram story ads, Snapchat, TikTok, a lot of different things and social media platforms out there to be able to expose your music, to engage, and therefore get engaged fans back. That's what you really want. The purpose of all this, your music, even in and of itself, is nothing but an advertisement. It's a 3.5 minute advertisement for you, the artist. What's most important is that you build an engaged fan base. I think 1RPM and the strategic partnerships that they are making with different companies, different streaming platforms, different sales platforms, I think they put themselves on a higher level than everybody else. They are definitely more professional and more reliable. They have a reputation to protect. They distribute some of the highest selling and streamed artists in the world. So you've got that going for you as well. I've done videos before and even talked about this on my podcast. You are guilty by association. Having that 1RPM logo associated with the distribution of your music is a good thing. They have the relationships that are necessary to make sure that your music gets where you want it to be, which is all of the digital sales and streaming outlets. Plus, they have the ability and the reputation that they're trying to protect to make sure your music is safe. So many of you, after watching the Ditto video series, came back to me and said, now it's happening to me. They're pulling down all of my music. You do not want that to happen, because why? It is your most important job to make sure your music is available and easy to find. A lot of these digital distribution companies, when it comes to streaming, they are not set up for mass marketing. They're not set up for marketing campaigns, meaning you upload your music and then you start doing exactly what you should be doing and implementing your marketing strategy. And you are doing Facebook ads, you are doing Spotify ads and Instagram story ads, and utilizing TikTok to use paid traffic to grow your engaged fan base. Sometimes these digital distributors like Ditto, like DistroKid, like TuneCore, and the thousands of others that you guys have messaged me and asked me about, they are not set up to realize and understand what's going on when the artist is implementing a marketing strategy. The same thing happened with us with Ditto. We put up the artist's EP. There were 3 different artists we were testing Ditto with. We put their music up and we started our marketing programs. We started our highly targeted Facebook ad campaigns and Instagram story campaigns and Snapchat ads, which were driving a lot of streams back to our artist's EP. All of a sudden, Ditto pulled everything down thinking that it was illegal streaming. We weren't paying a bot to go in and stream these artist songs and EPs hundreds of thousands of times. We were simply implementing a marketing strategy that works. Matter of fact, the same strategy that all of my major label friends use. It's the very exact same strategy. But when they are third-party aggregates, TuneCore, DistroKid, Ditto, all of those, they are third-party aggregates, meaning that they do not want to take the chance of themselves getting in trouble or risking the association and distribution deal that they themselves have with the digital streaming platforms. When something looks funny or they don't understand it, they automatically pull it down. Unfortunately, one step further than that, whenever they realize that it's not a major artist, they assume that something is wrong. That was my main complaint with our issue with Ditto, is that our artists were independent artists and they automatically assumed that something was wrong going on, that we were paying for streams because an independent artist was getting 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 streams, when in all actuality, our marketing was working properly. I don't want to see you get in that situation. And I'm telling you, when you deal with a digital distribution company that is used to dealing with major label artists and more successful independent artists, they know that you are going to be doing the marketing properly, and it doesn't scare them away whenever they start to see streaming numbers increase on your project, whether you're a new artist or whether you're an established artist. This is very, very important. So my top pick, if you will, for 2020 and top distribution company of 2020 is 1RPM. I highly suggest that you check them out. Go over to 1RPM.com. I have to say, this is not a paid advertisement. This is not a sponsored video in any way whatsoever. I have no connection whatsoever to 1RPM other than a friend of mine does head the company here in Nashville. He's a great guy. He is a music guy. He's a song guy, and he loves artists. And so I know that when you take your music over there, your music's going to be protected, it's going to be available everywhere, and it's going to be easy to find. So I wish you all luck with the new projects that you're going to be putting out over the next few months that you're planning. Please, if anything, put together a marketing strategy to make sure that you can meet the expectations that you have, so that when you put a new song out or a new album out or a new EP out into the world, you don't get disappointed by the reaction that you get. You have to have a solid marketing strategy to go along with your release. And in all honesty, the marketing strategy behind your release is more important than your release. So again, make sure your music is easy to find and that it is available everywhere, and go with a reputable distribution company. The old saying is you get what you pay for. And I get a lot of messages from you guys saying, hey, Steve, what about this company? They're cheaper than TuneCore. They're cheaper than this. Guys, you get what you pay for. Don't worry about the small, infinite amount of money in the grand scheme of being a songwriter or an artist. Don't worry about that minute amount of money when it comes to getting your music out there and fulfilling your most important job as a songwriter, artist, or producer, making sure your music is available everywhere and making sure that it's easy to find. You get what you pay for. Check out 1RPM.com, and hopefully, maybe they'll be a right fit for you and you'll have your music available and easy to find. Guys, thank you for joining me for another video. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. I'm going to try to get into the habit of making more of these types of videos for you. If you want even more education, information, access, and guidance, check out the Steve Freeman podcast. New episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Everything you need to know about the music business, being successful, marketing strategies, producing tips and tricks, songwriting help. It's all right there in my podcast, the Steve Freeman Podcast. It's available everywhere that you get your podcast. That's iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google, iHeartRadio, radio.com, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. It's available everywhere. And also the video versions of the podcast are available right here on YouTube. So guys, till the next time, keep being creative, keep pressing the boundaries, and there's nothing wrong with being independent. See you in the next video.